Hello guys, today in this video I am going to talk about how we can call stored procedure in ASP.NET Core 3.1 version in a web API project. So before proceeding, I would like to request you to subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed yet. So let's proceed to the project. Okay, so here I am continuing the same video series of ASP.NET Core web API tutorials. So here are the few steps to achieve that, or to call the stored procedure in a web API of ASP.NET Core. So this is the first step what we need to do. So first we need to create the procedure. So I have already done creating the procedure, but I am going to again execute this query. So here I am, and let me open the new query window and let me paste it here, and also let me change the database, and here is my database is here. Just a minute, let me expand it. Yes, this is the web API, the database. So here is the database. Okay, and I am going to execute this procedure. You can see it's executed successfully, and now I will call this procedure using this. Okay, so this is the user ID, and this user ID having this information. Here you can see we are getting it in the result, and this should be coming in the response of our API. So let's move to the next step. Then the next step is, after creating the stored procedure, we need to create the stored procedure result model. So what this model will do, this model will get the, like when we call the stored procedure in ASP.NET Core, then this model will get the result and bind all the columns into its like model properties. So let me copy this and let me move to the project, and here I have created one class which is currently there is no property here right now, so I will just paste it here. So here you can see all these properties like ID, username, email, confirm, phone number, and all these properties will be coming from the stored procedure. So just let me show you again. So here you can see this is the ID, username, email, confirm. Means I have defined all the columns as property here in this class get user by ID. So now let's proceed to the next step. So the next step is to add model in DB context class. So I will copy this, and here I will pass this in the DB context class, and here is my DB context application DB context class, and here you can see I have pasted it here. So now when the procedure will be called, then the result will be bind in this DB set class properties. Okay, so we have done also this step. So now we will move to the next step, fourth step, and this is the final step actually. So here is the final step. So this is to create action method call to call the procedure. So we will create this action method inside the controller. So I will paste the code here. So you can see here I have passed this action method as a HTTP GET type, and this is the root. Okay, and this is the authorized action method, because I have applied the authentication here, authorized section here at the top of the controller. Therefore each and every API or action method created inside this controller, the account controller will be authorized. But if we want to allow some API to like access without like anonymous access, then we need to pass it here an attribute like allow anonymous, and here you can see login API is set as allow anonymous, because login API should be called by anyone. That's why this is allow anonymous API, and this is also register API. We have passed the same, and the register fresh token is also the same anonymous API. But the profile API is not an anonymous API like get profile API, so it is not anonymous. And one more thing, when you will call or use this like to call the procedure, here you can see I have passed the from SQL raw, and this is the DB context, the database context, the application DB context is basically this is the context, and we have called this database context here. You can see this is application DB context, this is the same class, and I am calling that class here to access the database connection string. Okay, and here in the database context we have initialized it in the constructor of this controller. Okay, and again we are calling this DB context to access our data. So here you can see DB context dot get user by ID, and this get user by ID is coming from here what we have defined here as a DB set, and inside that DB set we are passing the executing the procedure here from by using from SQL raw. And when you will use the from SQL raw, then you must need to add this entity framework core. If you will not add this reference, then it will show you an error. Okay, and here again you can see inside the from SQL raw we have passed the SQL query. So this is the same query what we are using to get the data from the procedure. Okay, here is the same query, you can see, right? But inside user ID we have passed its value, and the same way here we have passed the parameter, user ID parameter, and this parameter is we are creating this parameter here, SQL parameter. And to use the SQL parameter, to access the SQL parameter, you must need to use this data.sql client, otherwise it will show you an error. Okay, so you have to use this SQL parameter, and inside SQL parameter I have passed it as user ID will be the parameter name, and the value will be this what we are passing here. Okay, so here is the complete set. Okay, and then in the last we have applied the tool list async, because we are going to call this procedure asynchronously. But after that we have passed it as first or default, because we want to get the result in the object format. You can see if we will not pass this first or default, then the result will be list type. The result will be of type of list. Okay, you can see here. So you can see here it is returning the list of get user by ID, right? You can see here this is returning the list of get user by ID. But if we apply this first or default, then the result will be coming as a single object get user by ID. Okay, now you can see it is returning as get user by ID, and that get user by ID will be returned from here from the OK section. So like this you can call the procedure. And now let me go ahead and run this project so that we can get the exact idea, okay, of running the application. So let me put a breakpoint here, and now I will run this project. Now our application is running. We have got this Swagger screen, okay, Swagger UI. So now let me go ahead to the Postman to run the get profile API. So here you can see this is the account controller, inside this is the action method. So now let me first call this API. You can see here we are getting 401 unauthorized, and we are getting this because we are not allowing this API to be called anonymously. Okay, so here we need to first log in using the valid credential. So now let me log in first. Here we got the token and the refresh token with the expiration. So we have now logged in, and we have the login token, and now I need to pass this token. Let me copy this token from here. And after copying this token, I will pass it in the authorization section here. Okay, and now let me click on send. So we got the hit at the breakpoint, and now let me move ahead one by one or line by line. So here you can see we got the current user ID. Okay, and now let me again move ahead, and now we are reached to the line of calling the procedure, and here you can see we got the data in the user profile. Okay, this is the complete data which is coming from the database. And now let me click on again, like press F10 to navigate to the next line. So now I will click on continue. So here you can see we got the complete response as a single object in the JSON string from the Postman. So like this you can call the store procedure in ASP.NET Core projects. So that's all in this video, and I will put all the notepad and the project related link in the description if you want to download, or if I will also put the Git repository URL in the description section. You can also clone the Git repository if you would like to see the code or run the same thing in your application or in your machine. Okay, so in this video that's all from my side. Thank you guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe the channel.